Here's a look at a recap of your markets on this Thursday, the 4th day of September. Before we get into looking at some of the prices from around the circuit today, give you another reminder about some of those special cow sales coming up. This evening at 6 o'clock, Callaway Livestock Center will hold their monthly replacement cow special. They're expecting about 550 head. Saturday, Mocan Livestock Market in Butler. They're expecting about 900 head. That sale gets started right after lunch, about 1 o'clock. And then Saturday evening, 5 o'clock, Ozarks Regional Stockyards in West Plains will be holding a special replacement cow sale. They're expecting about 1,000 head there. We don't have a catalog complete yet, but there will be the monthly hay auction at Southwest Missouri Hay Auctions down in Golden City on Saturday. They are expecting a very big sale there. Going to have quality across the board, from some average quality hay to some very good quality hay offered in all types of bale sizes. That sale will get kicked off at 10 a.m. sharp. At the auction barns around today, Mocan Livestock Market, they had a lighter run, 522 head. They're already done for the day. The steers and heifers there called mostly steady. The feeder steers, some 4 to 5 weights, $458 to $500 even. 5 to 6 weights at $430 to $498. A few 6 to 7 weights, most of these tagged as either fleshy or unweaned, $389 to $427. The feeder heifers at Mocan, 400 to 500 pounds, a few of them at $397 to $440. A small handful of 5 to 6 weights. Some of these tagged as fleshy, $379 to $387. A small package of fleshy 601-pound heifers at $356.69. The weekly drought monitor published this morning, and as expected, a whole lot more of the state highlighted now. We're currently setting at about 94% of the state listed as either abnormally or moderately dry now. There are several people in the southern part of the state, though, that would make an awful good argument that the intensity of that drought monitor might not be showing the severity of what's actually going on. Several producers in that area this week reported to be feeding some hay now. Of course, some of that does depend on their stocking rates, as pastures throughout the month of July were absolutely exceptional. However, rainfall for the month of August, one of the driest on records, and that pasture sure burnt awful fast down in the area of the state where that topsoil's awful thin. A few guys also somewhat concerned about water. The cooler temperatures this week, though, sure to help provide a little bit of relief, but everyone sure would like to have a rain soon. Box beef cutout values on Thursday. Choice closed down $1.80 at $414.21. Select was up 4 cents at $387.77. Those values based on some pretty decent volume today. 142 loads of cuts, trimmings, and grinds. The Choice Select spread at $26.44. Negotiated feedlot trade as of the 2 o'clock cutoff time for that report this afternoon. Seeing some decent volume start to develop. 36,373 head of confirmed negotiated sales. Texas, 4,229 head, 242 to 242.50. Kansas reported 3,900 head, 242 mostly, a few up to 243. Those prices in the South this week look to be mostly steady with last week. In the North, we look to be steady to a bit weaker. Nebraska, 3,983 head so far, from 242.5 to 245 live. Dress sales at 383. Iowa had the best volume developed so far, 13,933 head. Live sales there, 242 to 245. Dress sales at 380 to 383. Taking a look at the closing futures markets, when all was said and done today after another quite volatile day with the cattle futures, everything did close lower, adding on to the losses for the week so far. Live cattle for October down $1.37, $236.95. December at $238.55, down $1.70. February at $239.87, down $1.75. September feeder cattle closed down $2.25 at $359.82. October down $2.55 at $358.95. November at $358.07, down $3 even. Lean hogs for October, $95.02, up $1.20. December, $87.30, up 17. February closed at $89.50, up 20. Taking a look at the grain markets now. At the elevators around the state on Thursdays, soybean bids were 1 to 2 cents higher, wheat 2 lower, corn 1 to 3 higher. Corn bids in the St. Louis region, $4.11, Kansas City $3.96. Soybean bids in St. Louis, $10.06 to $10.07, Kansas City at $9.48, and wheat in St. Louis, $4.59 to $4.67. On the Board of Trade, corn for September closed 2 cents higher at $3.99 3/4. December up 1 3/4 at $4.19 3/4. March at $4.37.5, up 1 1/2. Soybeans, the old crop September was down 4 cents at $10.12. The rest of the contracts closed slightly higher for the day. November new crop beans up 1 1/2, $10.33. January at $10.51.5, up 1 1/2. Wheat contracts, September down 1 3/4, $5.02 1/4. December down 2 1/2 cents at $5.19 1/2. March at $5.36, down 2 1/4. Soybean meal for September up $3.50 a ton, closing the day at $279.40. Soybean oil for September up 7 cents a hundredweight at $51.23. With the Missouri Department of Agriculture, that's a recap of your markets for Thursday. This is Tony Handy.